Hello there. You know what? The year of 2024 is coming to an end, which means that I guess I'm done buying Star Wars action figures for 2024. So here are probably the last of the vintage collection purchases that I am making this year. In a way, I'm sorry to see the year come to an end. True, I did break my leg, which kind of set me back a bit, but I did get to go on an Alaskan cruise. Oh, and this channel finally became monetized. Yeah, it only took 3.5 years, almost 4 years. But you know, in my case with this channel, it really doesn't mean a whole lot to be monetized. This channel is still, I feel, a little too niche to really find a strong audience. Or maybe I just don't do enough silly stuff. I don't know. Whatever. Let's move on, shall we? In these packages are probably the last of the vintage collection figures that I bought for this year. And I have a feeling that a couple of them may surprise you, because to tell the truth, it kind of surprised me that I bought them. Of course, I'll look these over after I invite you to like this video if you do enjoy it. And of course, to subscribe to the channel. Let's build up that membership total, you know? We're over 1,600, creeping up on 1,700. Don't think I'll make 1,700 by the end of the year, but it would be nice if all of a sudden we had a big influx of people. Of course, if you share this video with your friends, maybe that would climb up a little bit more. But enough of all that. It is time to look at these figures and see what I have. The first one I'm going to start with is in the box here. I bought this because I wanted it. And this is the special action figure set from The Mandalorian, featuring 4 Mandalorian figures. I do like the box. It's kind of plain, got a nice picture of the Mandalorian group in the back, and not a whole lot in the front, and even the background behind the characters is kind of blah, but still, I like these type of packages. Now let's look at the figures for a moment. You'll notice we have 4 different action figures, and actually 3 different sizes of action figures. We've got a taller one on the right there, and a smaller, I think, female version on the left, and 2 normal size figures in the middle. Now I thought at first the 2 figures in the middle were basically the same figure with just a slightly different paint scheme. But when you look at the waistband around them, we do see a difference there in what is actually formed for the figure. And the one on the left does have a cloth skirt around him, where the one on the right in the middle does not. I also like that each figure does come with its own jetpack. They do have enough pistols for all of them, and knives for all of them. So lots of accessories. And we even have 1 rifle, or short blaster if you want to call it that. Overall, I think this is a really good set. I'm glad I bought it, and I'm glad that I was able to add it to my collection. Now, of course, to go along with this, I did find another Mandalorian action figure to add to my collection, and that is the Dark Trooper. It's not the Dark Trooper that came as part of the deluxe figure with the, if you want to call it, the casing around it that it could recharge in, if that's what you call it. This is just the simple Dark Trooper with a rifle. We look at it and we can see that it is nothing overly fancy, and I doubt it is a whole lot different than the other figures. I didn't pull out the other one just to take a look at it, you know. This happens to be number 271, so another nice addition there. And there completes my Mandalorian action figure purchases, I have a feeling, for 2024. Now, the rest of them in this bag is probably surprising, and in some ways I kind of wonder, why did I buy them? Because yes, I did watch the TV show that they're based on. No, I did not think it was a great show. I did watch all the episodes from start to finish. I didn't think it was a really great show. I did like certain aspects of it, but overall I didn't think it was done as well as it probably should have been. And we'll get to these. Have you figured out yet which show I'm talking about? If you haven't, well, I take that back. This first figure here is not from that show I was talking about. This show I actually liked a little better, and that is from Ahsoka. We have the HK-87 Assassin Droid. Now, I did have this one in the retro collection, but the vintage collection is a nicer figure and actually looks better than the retro collection. It also looks thinner than the retro collection. Even looks thinner in proportion to what you see on the card when you think about it. It is kind of nice that he comes with his electro staff and a cloth cape behind him. So a good figure. Nice one to add to the collection, especially since I don't have a whole lot of Ahsoka action figures. But then again, there wasn't a whole lot of characters within that TV show that would actually make good action figures. Now we'll get to the action figures that I was talking about from the TV show that a lot of Star Wars fans did not care for. And that is the Acolyte. Yes, I did buy a few of the Acolyte figures because they're Star Wars. They were in the store, and I thought, oh, what the heck, I may as well get them. So the first one here is Osha's Anasia. I forgot how they actually said it, and I really don't want to go back and watch it to hear how they say it again. But when we look at the figure, one thing I have to admit, the figure doesn't look too bad. It actually looks pretty decent. Plenty of detail in it, and it does come with several accessories. We have a backpack and a pistol. We got her little droid. And we've got the tether there, which allows her to carry some things like the pistol. The figure actually isn't bad. I do like the figure. I just wish the character in the show would have been a little better. The next figure we have here is Mae, you know, her twin sister. And when we look at this one, the figure actually looks pretty decent. Not as many accessories with this one, of course. We got a couple knives, and we've got the facial mask to put around her. And that's about it. So not a whole lot, other than the cloth shawl that she has around her. Don't like this one as much as I do this one. I think this one is a better action figure, to tell the truth. Now, I've only got 3 from the Ahsoka TV series. And I know there has been a few more. I just haven't got around to picking them up yet. And I probably will at some point. But the other one I've got is Jedi Master Sol. When I look at this figure, it's actually not too bad sculpted, considering we got a pretty small scale here. Unfortunately, his cloak really hides a lot of the action figure that you can't really see what's going on here. He does come with a lit lightsaber and just a hilt. You could say 2 accessories for that one. So, not too much. By the way, if you're paying attention to the numbers, we have 327, 328, 329. Now, going back to Sol for just a moment, I thought Sol actually, during the first episode or 2, had good potential to be a really good character. But as the series continued on, and of course this is my opinion, you can disagree with me or agree with me in the comments below, but I thought this character really became weaker and weaker as the series went on until the last episode. To me, he didn't seem very much of a Jedi anymore. He to me, he almost felt like a pathetic fool. He made a mistake, he let it gnaw at him, and just by trying to correct it, he just screwed things up. So I kind of liked him at the beginning, not so much at the end. And I have to say, I think a lot of it's due to the writing of the show. It could have been better in some aspects. It had a lot of potential. I think the show could have really been something, but it was wasted. And like I said, just my opinion. You could agree or disagree with me. But there we have it. These are probably going to be my last figures for this particular season of Star Wars collecting. What do you think? I think they look pretty good. Overall, I like the action figures. And in a few days, we start a new season or start a new year, however you want to look at it. It'll be interesting to see what comes out in the coming year. And yes, we know a bunch of figures that are already coming out because Hasbro puts these pre-order stuff out there 6 months ahead of time. I'm sorry, I'm not spending my money on something that I'm going to get 6 months down the road. I will just take the risk and not get the action figures then. For a HasLab, yeah, if I'm interested in a HasLab, I'll do it because that's something special. action figures, just put the action figures out and be done with it. My opinion. Well, what do you think? Would you buy these figures? Would you buy the Acolyte? Did you buy the Acolyte to put in your collection or not? Like I said, I did see a couple other ones that I think I will have to pick up yet, just to fill out the Acolyte collection a little bit more. But overall, I'm more happy with the Mandalorian parts I bought. Well, it is time to bring this episode to a close. And before I go, I would just like to invite you to like this video and, of course, share it with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. Until next time, may the Force be with you and keep collecting!